Call of Duty's third season of Season 4 just recently came out, and after getting some time to play with it, I have to say, it's literally like every other Vanguard season that we have seen, and I mean like exactly the same. Now, this might sound confusing as each season is different in its own rights, but you gotta hear me out here. In Season 4, we are getting 2 new multiplayer maps and 1 useless thing that no one cares about. All of those being USS Texas on launch, and Desolation later in season, and Gun Game as a game mode. Now, USS Texas is just the same exact map from 2017's World War II. The only difference is that they added doors for whatever reason. Like, genuinely, if I can get some developer feedback on why they thought they needed to add doors to the map, I would love to hear that, since I genuinely cannot figure out the logic behind it, as the doors literally do nothing to add to the map. They're just 2 big steel doors that you can open that weren't there before. Also, with USS Texas, I swear they made the map bigger. I don't know if it's the engine it's making it feel that way, or what it is, or if it's placebo or whatever, but I swear the map is just bigger. Like, they grabbed the corner of the map in like a spreadsheet and just expanded it by 25%. Now, maybe if you remember the old version of this map, you can clarify if I'm crazy or not, but for now I will stick to the thought that this map is bigger. But overall, it's an alright map. I mean, I personally have some more feelings for this map than normal because it was the first map I started playing UMGs on when World War II came out, but for everyone else, it really is just a waste of a map, and honestly, I can feel that. See, I like the map personally, but still, I would have much rather see another map like London Docks, Quarantine, Point du Hoc, or Gibraltar from World War II. Literally, any of those are better maps to put in the game compared to USS Texas, but it is what it is, I suppose. We ball. Now, if you were thinking there was anything else to talk about for multiplayer in Season 4, you are absolutely wrong. All we get is another map later in the season that we know nothing about until that map then comes out, and we also get a blueprint gun game, which is just gun game as a mode. And now, I'm assuming here, but I'm going to go ahead and assume that none of y'all care in the slightest about any of this. Now, one big thing though is that after 7 months of the game being out, we finally got a proper round-based zombies map in the form of Shinonuma. That is a map that we have seen in every single Treyarch game besides Black Ops 2 and 4. That is 3 separate times we have seen the exact same map with no changes besides minor ones. Now, with Vanguard, it makes it the 4th time we've seen this map, but they finally added something I've been wanting forever, and that is a PAP feature. And yes, I know you can technically do it on BO3, but you need either mods or gobblegums for that, and that's just not worth it in my opinion. But in Vanguard, they added a new room to the map that surprisingly doesn't invade on the original part of the map that has a pack punch machine in it. And it's great. It's literally all I ever wanted from Shinonuma. The only downside is that it happens to be on Vanguard. Overall though, the map is still Shinonuma. Nothing has changed besides the PAP room, and it still plays like Shinonuma, just with Vanguard mechanics, and now mini bosses, which is give or take depending on who you ask. There's also an Easter egg which is somewhat interesting. I did it with a friend just to do it, and there really wasn't much to it. I could care less about the story or whatever was going on, and I also just did it for the calling card. And just to be able to use the Wunderwaffe as well. Don't forget that, the Wunderwaffe is back. But that is it though. Literally just Shinonuma. Like I said, still the same map we've seen all that time, just with some much wanted changes to make it much more replayable. Now, will I choose Vanguard Shinonuma over Black Ops 3 Shinonuma? Absolutely not, but it's in there in case if I want to play it and use a PAP machine. Other than all of that though, that is all the Vanguard content you can play that isn't behind a price tag. Nothing really too special, and only really lasted me a day of enjoyment before I got off again. Now, Warzone on the other hand got something pretty big for what it's worth. That being a new mini BR map in the form of Fortune's Keep. And let me tell you, the first game on, me and my boy won immediately, automatically making it the best map of all time with our 100% win rate, but then we played 2 more times. And let me tell you, the map blows compared to Rebirth. I wasn't expecting much from Warzone, but it's just like Rebirth, but more camping spots and more things to hide behind. It's not much fun at all, and it gets pretty stale pretty fast. At least with Rebirth, I can play 5 or so games before I want to get off, but with this map, after 2 or so games, I'm ready to not touch the game for the rest of the day. And after going on Twitter and seeing some videos on the new map, I think the majority of the Warzone community is in agreement that this map just isn't great. And so much that they actually put Rebirth back into the game because they know that Rebirth is the game's only redeeming quality. Caldera is a bust of a map, and the only thing it has going for it is Storage Town, which they added with this season. So yeah, if you're interested in the new map, it's not great and not really worth going out of your way to play it. Now after all of that, that is everything in Season 4 that matters and isn't behind the paywall. And bringing it back to the beginning when I said it is identical to every other Vanguard season, what I mean by that is that every single season so far from Vanguard has had 2 F tier maps or 2 B tier maps. One useless thing like a field upgrade or a game mode, and whatever zombie shit they throw in just for the fun of it. And of course the warzone updates as well. And to further this, I will put up every single roadmap from Vanguard from all 4 seasons, and you can see how they are pretty much identical to one another besides just the color they use and the picture they use. And one last thing that is identical as well is in my first reviews of each season for the past 3 seasons. The amount of content is pitiful, the game still sucks, and it's not worth coming back to or picking up the game for the first time, and you'll be bored of it within 3 days. Now, coming down to my first review of Season 4, the amount of content is pitiful, the game still sucks, and it's not worth coming back to or picking up for the first time, and you'll be bored of the season within 3 days. Hopefully I got my point across that COD seasons aren't great and it's just the same shit, different day with all these seasons, and all they really need to do is just add some more meaningful content if we're being real. It's crazy to think that just back in the day, 4 new multiplayer maps and 1 zombies map could just last us for so long with enjoyment and replayability. Even Black Ops 4, the last COD that didn't have seasons like this, was kinda doing that. And genuinely, I think the problem is the base game and how they handle the game, but that's honestly a conversation for another time though. If you did enjoy the video though, make sure not to leave without leaving a like and subscribing for more. But until the next time, see ya.